Commander Zethka's mandibles clicked nervously as he approached the observation deck of the Stellar Dominion. The reports from the reconnaissance team made no sense. None at all. "Show me," he commanded, his four eyes focusing on the holographic display that materialized before him. The image showed a scene that defied everything the Galactic Council knew about the apex predator of the Andromeda Spiral, a creature so feared that entire civilizations had fled their homeworlds rather than face it. The Void Stalker, as it was known in hushed whispers across 1,000 species, was a being of living shadow and starfire, capable of consuming entire fleets and reducing planets to cosmic dust. Yet there it was, coiled peacefully around a small human child who couldn't be more than 6 standard cycles old. "The readings are confirmed, Commander," reported Lieutenant Yexna, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's definitely the Void Stalker. Biosignatures match perfectly. The same entity that devoured the Catherian Empire and turned the Helios system into a graveyard." Zethka studied the display more carefully. The child, a human female with dark hair, sat cross-legged beneath what appeared to be a makeshift shelter on the abandoned research station Kepler-7. The Void Stalker, a writhing mass of crystalline scales and plasma that normally measured over 300 meters in length, had somehow compressed itself to wrap protectively around the small human like an enormous, cosmic pet. The station was evacuated 3 months ago when the stalker was detected in this sector, Yexna continued. Long-range sensors showed it had consumed the outer planets. We assumed all life in the system was extinct. "Then how," Zethka demanded, "is that child still alive? And why is that thing not devouring her?" The answer came from an unexpected source. Dr. Kayla Wen, the expedition's xenobiologist, had been monitoring human transmissions from their nearby colony ships. She burst onto the observation deck with an expression of wonder that made her usually composed features glow. "Commander, I've been analyzing the quantum resonance patterns. The stalker isn't dormant or contained, it's content. It's brainwave. Patterns match those of Earth's domesticated predators in a state of what humans call happiness." "Impossible," Zethka breathed. Dr. Calawen pulled up additional data streams. "I've also been monitoring the child's biometrics. Her name is Sarah Chen, age 6. She was accidentally left behind during the evacuation due to a computer error. But here's the extraordinary part. She's been feeding it." "Feeding it what?" "There's nothing left on that station except emergency rations." "Stories, Commander. She's been telling it stories." The bridge fell silent except for the hum of life support systems. Through their enhanced audio pickups, they could hear the child's voice drifting across the void. "And then the dragon realized that the knight wasn't trying to hurt the princess at all," Sarah was saying, her small hands gesturing animatedly, while the cosmic horror curled around her shifted and purred, with sounds that resonated through subspace. "The knight just wanted to be friends, so the dragon decided to protect the whole village instead of burning it down." Zethka felt his worldview cracking. "Dr. Kalawen, your analysis, now." The xenobiologist's voice trembled with excitement. "Commander, I believe the Void Stalker is a creature of pure psychic hunger. It doesn't consume matter. It consumes experience. Fear, desperation, the final moments of dying civilizations. That's why it appears to eat worlds. It's actually feeding on the collective terror of entire populations. But this human child, she isn't afraid of it." She looked at the most feared predator in the galaxy and saw a friend, a pet, something lonely that needed care, and instead of feeding it fear, she's been feeding it wonder, imagination, love. On the display, Sarah had pulled out what appeared to be a small stuffed animal, a toy that barely registered on their sensors, and was showing it to the stalker. The creature's crystalline surface rippled with colors none of them had ever seen, patterns of light that somehow conveyed pure joy. "It's never experienced anything like human imagination before," Dr. Calawen continued. "Our capacity for storytelling, for finding hope in hopeless situations, for seeing beauty where others see only terror. She's been feeding it the most. nutritious meal it's ever had: dreams. Zethka made a decision that would puzzle military historians for generations. Signal the human colony ships, tell them we've found their missing child, and tell them. He paused, watching as Sarah began to braid what looked like cosmic energy into flower crowns. Tell them they might want to send a xenobiologist or two. I think we're looking at the beginning of the most unusual first contact in galactic history. As the Stellar Dominion changed course toward the research station, Zethka reflected on the implications. Humanity had been considered a minor species barely worth council attention. They had no great technologies, no vast fleets, no psychic abilities to speak of. But they had something no other species possessed: the ability to look at a world-eating monster and see a friend who just needed a bedtime story. 3 hours later, as they established orbit around Kepler-7, Sarah Chen looked up at their ship's approach and waved enthusiastically. The Void Stalker, now sporting what appeared to be glowing flower crowns made of crystallized starlight, raised what might have been a head and made a sound that their translators could only render as a happy greeting. "First contact protocol?" asked Lieutenant Yexna. Zethka watched as the child began explaining to her new pet that more friends were coming to visit. "I think," he said slowly, "we let her handle this one." For the first time in galactic history, a first contact scenario began with a 6-year-old human asking if the scary aliens wanted to hear a story about friendship and cookies. The universe would never be the same.